on into it. And welcome everybody to Go Home Wrestling Show Pop-Up Show. I'm your host TJ, and then alongside with me, he's in the background, he's with me. What?
That's a much better half.
Oh, the much better half. Okay, he's already talking shit.
Over.
Yeah, you fucked it up. There was a good flow, and you had to fuck with it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'll edit that out because D-Shep wants to be unprofessional, okay? As usual. Well, it's been a while, folks. It's been almost 2 weeks since we last been on the air, and sorry about the Saturday night, and then, of course, the Saturday before when I was going on vacation. But here we are. We're live again, and we will be live again this Saturday. No interruptions, no issues. And we're going to be doing a couple of pop-up shows this week. We're doing one as we speak, and then I'm going to do one later on this week with the my predictions of All In for Saturday night, and I can't wait to see that. Of course, I'm going to have to watch that on delay because I got to work and then do the show, and then I'll probably watch All In the next day. Or I could probably stay up and just watch it till 3 in the morning, depending how long the show is. So, well, say hello to everyone, D-Shep, because, I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. Let's get that out of the way. All right, let's go right into it. Something that we didn't get a chance to discuss. I know it's pretty much, like, way over at this point, but fuck it, I'm going to talk about it anyway. SummerSlam. Of course, we weren't able to do the show with the predictions anyway, and I couldn't even get everyone to do the predictions anyway. So, as far as that bit that we normally do, we'll just skip it for this one, and we'll be back with Hell in a Cell. What's that?
I said maybe.
Why you say maybe?
Huh? Well, it wasn't like something serious. Settle down. You're rusty. Like, enjoy the sarcasm. We're back on the air. Enjoy it. Embrace it. It's your friend.
It is my friend. You know what? I could annoy you and wear the fucking hat that you don't like. Just an...
Sensitive Sally.
No, I'm not sensitive. At least not right now. Well, my thing for you this week, well, to start off the show, what was the thing that you liked the most about SummerSlam? Because there was a lot. I gotta say, like, the Takeover show was excellent as usual, but then you got the SummerSlam. The card, it looked good on paper, but was it gonna translate well? Was it gonna be a good show? We were actually surprised by the results. At least on my end, it was a very, very good show. What, in a nutshell, real quick, what did you think of the pay-per-view?
Overall, I honestly thought it was a slightly above average show. I don't think it lived up to what it could have been. The thing that stood out the most for me was the same thing that was standing out going in, and that was Ronda Rousey. It was what I looked most forward to. SummerSlam is the thing for me that delivered the most based off said expectations, so I'm gonna lean that way. But otherwise, the demon thing, obviously that blew my mind.
Yeah, it was. That was awesome.
Probably the shock of the night because it just did not seem like the kind of match that we were gonna see. That obviously the main event was disappointing with the teasing of Braun Strowman. I should have knew better than to fall for that shit. So that was probably the most disappointing aspect of the night. But for me, it was Ronda Rousey and Demon Finn Balor. Those were my two highlights of the night.
I'm with you on that, but I'll go with another one too. The thing I was surprised the most was the Daniel Bryan and Miz match. A lot of people were wondering, was it going to be a good match? Or was it going to be just a first step and they just weren't going to go too much into it? It turned out to be a very good match, and I did like the ending. You had to go with the heel ending. And then that self-doubt, which we talked about a long time ago when Daniel Bryan first came back into the wrestling scene. We discussed this back in, what was that, in the beginning, in June. So going about a few months ago, we were talking about this, that there's going to get to a point where he's going to have self-doubt because He wanted to get this win. He did not get the win. And you saw in that backstage after the match that he started to have a little self-doubt. And now, where they go from here? Well, obviously, they're going with that mixed tag match at freaking Hell in a Cell. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know how...
That's not awful.
I get the Women's Evolution's coming up in October. For fuck's sake, people. Why are you going to ruin a good storyline with a mixed tag? They kind of ruined that. Hey, what's up, P. Ferris? How you doing, buddy? You were... Oh, that's right. You were doing a replay. Well, welcome, my friend. Yeah, the thing that annoyed... Why... Here, let me restart the chat here. Because some reason that did not show up. Excuse me. I'm sorry. There you go. Yeah, I did not like the fact that they, like, oh, great match. Now the next step is, oh, we're going to have a mixed tag. They did that with John Cena and The Miz back in WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was so recent, too. Like, well, it feels like it was recent, even though it was
a year ago. Yeah, it was a year ago. But the point is, it's not a good angle to go with after having a great match like they did back at SummerSlam. That is my opinion.
No, it does nothing for me.
Yeah.
I have no interest in it whatsoever.
And again,
even my minor interest, like, it's hot garbage. And what the fuck is with the last 2-3 weeks out of nowhere, we are focusing so much goddamn time on the fucking Bella twins. Like, I don't understand that. I didn't understand their involvement at SummerSlam in the backstage segment. To me, it made no sense that they made such a big deal out of them being at ringside for the match.
Yep.
Then you had the announcement of the mixed tag shit. Now you had them in another backstage segment on Raw last night, and we're talking about them returning next week. Like,
for a match.
What the fuck? We basically have spent probably since the last Bella Twin match is really when the Women's Evolution did actually kick into high gear. And now that the Evolution pay-per-view is literally 2 months away, now we're going to decrease the value on the women's division by bringing the Bellas back? Like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah, well, again, it goes along with the Women's Evolution, and then again,
No, it don't. It brings it back down. Did you not notice you had the Bellas, and then not even 2 seconds later you have Trish basically in the ring? Or it was...
Well, no, I mean, bringing all the women in is what they're doing.
Jokes about bra and panty matches again, too? Like, I'm dead serious. Like...
Oh, don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that segment with Elias last night.
Great segment besides that joke, because that just dissed the whole women's division.
No, I just didn't like. I get that. Yeah, they were making jokes about that. That was kind of bad. But the one thing was the like pussification of the guys. It's like out of nowhere, these women like out telling these 200 to 300-pound guys, "Oh, shoot away, shoot away." It's like if Elias slapped you, he would knock your freaking head off. Like I get what you're trying to do with this women empowerment thing. And I'm not trying to turn it a political thing, but let's go with a sense of reality, because wrestling is supposed to be somewhat a sense of reality. And I know this is probably not a popular take, but that was the one thing that turned me away from that Elias promo last night on Raw. I don't know what your feelings are.
Well, I'm overall upset about the whole situation in general. The segment was just another slap in the face.
Yeah.
What they've been building, in my opinion, because when these Bella twins come out for that match next week, all right, I love to look at the shaking the ass stuff. So don't get me wrong. There'll be part of me where my dick's probably getting a little hard next week, and I'm going to kind of enjoy that.
Way to go with that.
Okay. You know, I'm addicted to that shit. Like, I love ass. I'm going to love that.
Well, we grew up in the Attitude Era.
But how much shaking of the ass have we seen from any women's wrestler since the Bellas left? None. The focus has just been on the wrestling. The moment them two little sluts step through the curtain,
oh damn! I don't think Daniel Bryan.
The camera is gonna zoom in to the little cheesy ass first grade music crap, and they're gonna be rubbing their asses. Does it look like you can't touch? Or what? How the fuck that shit? No, that's devaluing everything that you spent the last 2 years building instantaneously.
I see your point with that. Yeah, because you got her, them two, and Carmella. Those are 3 girls that insult before SummerSlam, that you're a diva in the women's division.
Yeah.
If they were around 10 years ago, it would be more accepted. Today, not so much. Because...
Yeah. Like I said, the moment you put a camera back on them, it devalued everything instant. Like, yeah, from a horny old bastard point of view,
What's up, Russell?
my dick's getting hard, and I'm loving the fact that I got more ass on TV. Don't get me wrong. Don't get anything twisted.
Yeah, because you're an old perv, that's why.
That is not the first thought that came to mind about women's wrestling for close to 2 years now. That was not my first thought anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had nice-looking women. Yeah, a little bit of butt cheek was hanging out, but they didn't focus on that. They weren't focused on them dancing or making jokes about swimsuits and divas and lingerie matches. None of that was going on until them two little sluts came back. And
wow.
I'm sorry, but no. I have no interest in that.
You know, it's funny that you're good. They're sluts. They're sluts. I'm sure Daniel Bryan would appreciate you calling his wife a slut.
Get back to me on that. Get back to me on how many wrestlers Nikki Bella has been with, and then get back to me on sluts. Thank you.
Good point. Well, what about the SmackDown general manager? I mean, she made a nice X-rated video that I recently watched. Not bad.
I don't understand their logic. I think it's just really horrible timing. Like,
Oh, it is the WWE's.
Time focus on the wrestling
Mm-hmm.
leading up to this show is what I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am happy as fuck. I'm going to get Trish Stratus back in the ring.
Oh, God.
I'm going to get Lay Cool back in the ring, it sounds like. And a bunch of other pastime greats. I love that. Because we're talking about all the non-slutty things them women did to build up the wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And now the focus, like you said, you had the Elias joke last night, and I didn't like it. Now,
No, I didn't either.
A nice horny teenager Disha in his early 20s even. Yeah, that guy loved the shit out of that probably, but it fell flat in this era. It does not belong here anymore. The times are different.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Because that's the thing with the WWE. They go 2 steps forward, and then they go 3 steps back. Then they take a couple more forward,
they took
and then one
step
back.
forward with what happened with Becky Lynch at
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
They took giant steps forward, and then they just brought it all instantaneously back. And I just, I was enjoying the focus and not being on just their bodies for a while. I was really enjoying that, but it's sad. It just really is.
Well, Russell Jr. said, "Stop speaking painful truth." Yeah, it is the truth, though. It's like they with the women's evolution, with certain angles, like, and it's funny how we went from, you were talking about what you liked about the Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey, all the way to, putting the Bellas in, and you're not agreeing with that, and I get that, and everything that they're doing right now, they're setting up for October. They're setting up for 2 things: the Super Show in Australia. They're setting. They're you know what? It seems like they're throwing.
They are setting up more for the next Total Bellas season than they are that fucking pay-per-view.
As far as them, I'm talking about everything else. But the women, it's like they're passing by Hell in a Cell. And again, I don't like to be that negative guy like everyone else that pretty much is in the WWE universe. But you got to sit back sometimes and then look and go, why are they making these fucking decisions? But I get what they're doing. The stock is high. The ratings are still pretty good. They're still getting subscriptions on the WWE Network. Why would you change anything then? I can't blame them for not making any changes. But then they are ignoring the silent majority that are stepping back going, what are they doing? Because the one thing I don't agree with, it seems like they're trying to do, is like they're just not even looking at Hell in a Cell. It's like a throwaway pay-per-view.
You want to talk about not looking at Hell in a Cell? They're not even looking forward to next week on Raw. Because last time I checked, okay, you made the announcement last night. The Bella Twins were there, right? They were backstage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they announced the match for the Riot Squad next week, right?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, Riot Squad's on Raw, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't get any kind of interaction? Not even a backstage segment? Nothing? And they're supposed to have a match next week? What?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, and then to your point about Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Hell in a Cell is a couple weeks, right? Yeah. Oh, let's throw guy in the back truck. He's like, I'm going to throw on about a half dozen Undertaker and Triple H videos. Okay. Oh, wait. Vince, that's not enough? Oh, shit. We forgot to announce HBK for next week to talk about the fucking match, too, and show all the same 6 videos again. Oh, yeah. Is that good? No. We're going to have all the announcers talk about it for a half hour out of the fucking show. Yeah, let's do that, too. No one is looking forward to that fucking match. I'm sorry. I'm not. Nobody else does. I don't fucking care. Some guy has wrestled twice in the last 2 years. The other guy has wrestled twice in the last 2 years. I don't fucking care.
Okay, give it about what your feelings on that. And again, like it seems like they're skipping Hell in a Cell. They're going on with the Women's Evolution. They're going on with the Super Show in Australia. But could have this match with The Undertaker and Triple H been sooner than now? And if it was, besides 2012, between 2012 and now, when can it have been?
WrestleMania instead of Cena. Simple. Not rocket science even. Oh man, it's been like 8 years since I wrestled you at WrestleMania. You beat me twice in a row. I'm gonna come back and kick your fucking ass now. Oh no, I'm the dead man. I want to face John Cena. And then we'll try again in maybe October at a glorified fucking house show.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well.
Fuck you and your goddamn Super Show fucking glorified house show BS.
Because they're trying to be a global thing. And again, I'm actually feeding off your negativity right now.
Fucking nuts. Global these fucking nuts.
D-Shep, come on. These global the glorified house shows are the things that are trying to
be home. Sure, yeah, during the day. How many people are going to be calling off work that day just to sit home and watch a fucking house show? If I was working, I wouldn't be.
All right, well, here, hold on. First of all, they're 15 hours ahead. If that show, it was 8 o'clock, it's going to be 5 in the morning when it starts. Just letting you know. Yeah. I used to do a talk show with a guy from Australia, okay? And he was 15 hours ahead. So when I was doing it at 8 in the morning, it was 11 o'clock his time. And then when we were doing it at night, it was 11 o'clock here. It was 2 in the afternoon there. So, dude, that is going to be rough. How are they going to... They didn't think about that.
If we're going to have a glorified house show...
Yeah.
Why can't we have one in America at a 7 p.m. start time on a random Wednesday night even?
Well, I mean, they do kind of have that. It's called WrestleMania. And then given by what they're going to do in January, they're actually going to do it at Chase Field in Arizona. So, yeah, Royal Rumble as well. I mean, we have the big shows like that. They're trying to go global. That's the whole point. They're trying to expand and make it a global product. That's why they did NXT UK.
We're global? Has anyone called Rey Mysterio yet to make sure we get a Latino on the fucking card like the last Super Show?
Because he's still obligated. He's obligated to be in other shows right now. He's supposed to be at All In Saturday. He's going to be at Royal...
Alberto El Patron.
Oh, he's trying to come back.
That he would like one more run with the WWE.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Maybe we can get Alberto Rey Mysterio rematch from a SmackDown episode from, I don't know, 8 years ago. Random number, I don't fucking know. Yeah.
So all right, I get your point. All right, but it is they're trying to be global. That's the point of that. But we've like completely derailed because we went from one subject and here we are, completely. We're like way off track here.
Jinder Mahal has a big middle finger to the global movement.
You know what? I don't care what people say. Jinder Mahal, that was. I know it was a marketing thing for like India and all that, but I think it made him a better wrestler after all that.
I'm on his side.
Okay. I was gonna say I think it made him a better wrestler, better overall character. I think it improved him in many ways.
Not this character now, whatever.
Oh God! Well, one death sentence. If you're not really a top guy on Raw, I mean, when you're told you're mid Carter and you're going to Raw, you might as well just go. All right, can I ask for my release?
I'm done.
Yeah. That's not a good thing. It seems like if you're mid Carter on SmackDown, you still have a chance. It's a 2-hour show. You know they package everything right. It just seems a lot better and a lot tighter product or brand. I would, if you would say, than Raw. If anyone has opinion, I guess I got to put that out there. You can call into the show 720-835-5007. When you get in there, make sure you hit that pin number 16790. I just want to give people a chance to be able to, voice their opinions in other ways besides just talking in chat. But someone did put Relzo. I don't know if he's still in here. Relzo puts he's still in here. Thank you. Yeah, he was talking about Roman and Braun was a perfect example. I guess the downward spiral. We're gonna get into that. But first, I'm gonna continue a little bit with the SummerSlam. And then we'll go on to Kevin Owens quitting and then Braun Strowman, heel turn at the end of the show last night. And, of course, we'll talk more about Raw and SmackDown Saturday night, Go Home Wrestling Show, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have myself, D-Shep, Matt Griff, and then, of course, Electrify will be joining us. We'll give you extensive coverage about those shows, and we'll probably do a special bit at the end of the show. And don't forget, after that, we will be doing the call-in show, the after show, immediately after the Go Home Wrestling Show. So going back to what we were talking about with SummerSlam, the one thing you said you were shocked about the Finn Balor. Now here's the one thing I want to ask you: were you shocked at that the squash match with Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman, that it ended within 2 minutes from the intros to the pin? What was your feelings about that? At that moment, did you feel bad for Kevin Owens?
Not really, because at the end of the day, the feud went stale, and I don't care if they had a 2-minute match or a half-hour match. I don't think anybody was into it anymore. I think it played a little bit, not much, because the Roman factor was more involved with the Braun heel turn. But
yeah.
I think they got a little nervous that Braun was getting a little stale, because there's only so many times you can flip over this, flip over that, and shit before it got boring. It did. So I think this was obviously beneficial for Braun, the whole setup for it. But from Kevin Owens' point of view, I think he was just in a loss situation either way. I don't think there was a good outcome for him at all. I think the best outcome for him, honestly, was what happened last night with him.
Of course, we'll get into that.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you had a 30-minute match at SummerSlam, and then you had the same angle with Kevin Owens as you did last night, I don't think nothing's any different compared to if they had a squash match or a lengthy match at SummerSlam. I think either way, the angle last night plays out the way it does. Okay,
well, I'll give you my example, okay, why I was upset. And I agree with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The bionic redneck, the baddest motherfucker ever in the WWE history. I agree with him with what he said about Kevin Owens. It's like, I know, knowing what we know now, because obviously we'll get into the whole Kevin Owens quitting on Raw last night. Knowing what we know now, but I'm talking about last Monday, day after the show. How I felt was I felt bad for Kevin Owens because look at what he's done. 2 years ago, he was the Universal Champion. He won it at that very same event 2 years, or the Raw after. I'm sorry, the Raw after SummerSlam. That was 2 years ago, and then of course he dropped it to the most overrated wrestler of all time, Bill Goldberg. Ugh. You would never convince me that guy's good. I think he was awful. He always was, always will be. Now, the thing I didn't like is that he went from that, dropping the title, and he was in the U.S. title picture. But then in that time, it's like he was doing okay on SmackDown, but it just like you saw his stock just dropping and dropping. Then he goes over to Raw. And what did he do? He really didn't make a splash. And it's like you're taking a guy that, and given what you saw in the match last night with Rollins, look at the potential. And there's the potential of making him a top guy even on SmackDown if you had to. But they ruined it. It's like, and again, this is what I was thinking last Monday, is that you took a guy that was on top of his game 2 years ago, and it crashed quick. You just really destroyed the character. And if I was him at the time, like, with contract negotiations, I don't know. I might have went back out. That was me. Did not feel bad at the moment, just feeling where do they go from here. Yeah, that's what Russell says in chat. I did feel bad because knowing what he could be. And that's the problem being the only show in town is that he could go to other things, and there's way you can succeed outside of WWE. But I mean, Kevin Owens should be a top guy, regardless of which brand he's in. And I don't think he doesn't have to have the title because the best angles really don't involve titles. If we can all agree on that, and that was the thing that just kind of like that match killed for me is that. It took 2 minutes, and you're taking a guy that's established, and I know you're trying to get Braun over, but then this is last Monday, not knowing what happened last night was going to happen. It seemed like he was trying to get him over, and I get as a veteran, you want to get the good, you know, he's still kind of green, if you would say. Strowman over, and we got WWE's fake, yes. We all know it's fake. It's entertainment, sir. Sneak into so mixer going off. Yes, we enjoyed the product, my friend. All right, so that was my point about that. And it seems like, again, it was probably long-winded, but I felt bad for him when that happened. They could have done it another way. But, again, that was last Monday. Knowing what we know now, it's like, okay, it kind of makes sense. But the other thing that I was really shocked about was the ending of the Universal title match. I really thought there was going to be a cash-in. I really thought at the time.
They got you too?
They did. At first I thought it was going to be Kevin Owens, and I told you about that, 2-3 weeks ago. I was suspecting that. I really was, because when he said that Braun Strowman could lose it, pretty much like anyway, DQ, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. If you do boxing, does that... Oh, Jesus. Undertaker, John Cena. Undertaker. There you go. Guess we're getting attacked on Mixer. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so...
What's going on Mixer? Fill me in.
Oh, you're not seeing the chat? No, obviously not. SG Crazy. Hold on. Hold on a second.
Oh, I see that on the Twitch chat. You said Mixer. That's why I was confused.
Well, it's because it's through in the Mixer. Yeah, it's all good. Whatever, dude. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Kevin Owens. And then he started tweeting out things. And then when they repeated the same thing like the whole stipulation, like with the DQ and all, and they repeated. I was like, he's not going to win. He's not going to win at all. And I was like, okay, how are they going to go about this? Because I really didn't think they were going to go with Roman on that. Because, again, if you want, at the time, this is what I was thinking. If you were going to save, like, the Universal title, you're going to take it from a guy that was barely there to a guy that was really fucking hated. Does that help? Does it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But doing what they're doing, they're just throwing all the cards in. They're going all in. Well, actually, I would say chips. I'm sorry. They're putting all their chips in. They're going all in on this. They just turned Braun Strowman. They just turned him. They brought back the Shield. They're doing everything to make sure this goes the right way.
See, I'm not putting as much focus on Roman just because that's all they do. So I'm not going to be them. I'm focusing on now. I'm more interested, honestly, in what's going to happen next with Kevin Owens. I could see him returning as a face maybe as soon as the pay-per-view and costing Braun the match. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at this point. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think this is going to lead to a humongous push for Kevin. And as much as it seems like in the short term, it's all about what's going on with Rome, I think this is the Kevin Owens long-term plan. Is what maybe that's a little more wishful thinking. I don't know.
The whole repackage.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's going to be a full repackage. Just changing character, but I don't think a full repackage. No.
Well, I would, if they're going to take him off TV for a significant amount of time, I would have liked to see repackaged in some sort of way. But they should have did that with Roman Reigns in some kind of way. But again, they would have. This is their thought that they would have lost any momentum that they gained, which was hardly any. I mean, that's the thing I don't get. It's just, why don't the fans just sit back and allow this to happen and see what happens? Okay? Why don't you just let them do what they got to do, and then even at that point you still don't like it, then you can shit on it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. It's like, if we're at the stage, it's like, oh, we're not going to accept it no matter what. No matter what, we're not going to accept it. Well, sit back and see what they are going to do. Maybe it might be something you will enjoy. And you know what? I remember back in the 80s where people didn't have that much control. Yeah, they may not like a certain thing, but here was the thing. If they didn't like it, and this is the one thing WWE doesn't do, is they don't go with things like they did back in the day. If Roman is getting booed, what would you do? By reaction. You being a booker, what would you do, D-Shep? If you're hearing him getting booed week in and week out, what would you do?
I don't have an easy solution for you.
This is what you do. You give him the title, and then you would sell out arenas because people will go in there wanting to see him lose. They saw that back in 2000 with Triple H. They saw that where freaking, name any heel that has held the title. They saw it with Sid Vicious back in 97. I mean, Kurt Angle in the early 2000s. People sell out arenas because they want to see the heel finally drop the title. And who's the hero that's going to take that title away from him? That's good business. And it seems like they stepped away from that. So that's on.
Give me Kevin Owens as my next hero and bring that shit back.
But going back to that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I like it. No, that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Is that Braun will get the title from Roman, and then you'll have a little bit of a run with Braun, and then have the old school face take it from the heel.
I'm telling you right now, Strowman will not win the title.
I know, but
I really thought that.
A guy can hope.
Yeah, I really thought that too. But here we go. Give him for what we discussed right now. And even though we're going to talk about what happened between Strowman and then Kevin Owens last night on Raw, I got a bold prediction, if you were willing to listen. I said all along that Braun Strowman should have been the guy that won it at WrestleMania. And winning it any time sooner would have been a disservice for him. So what do you do to delay that? Okay, you have him cash in the Money in the Bank. Of course, not succeeding. They developed the Shield for a reason. To hold it off, okay? And then eventually, like you said, if Kevin Owens takes a couple months off, then Roman Reigns still has the title going into SummerSlam. A returning Kevin Owens challenges him. Because think about that. Roman Reigns offered Finn Balor a chance of winning the title because he never got his rematch. Think about another guy that didn't get that after losing it to Goldberg last year. He never got his. Two guys that were never given that opportunity. One did. Another one can when he comes back. Owens has that Universal title. Whether if it's a program that ends at Royal Rumble with Kevin Owens winning the title, anywhere from Survivor Series to Royal Rumble, I think he will come up with the title. And then facing Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. And then you continue that rivalry, and at the end, you get the title on Strowman. Could that happen? I don't know. But this is with everything that has happened recently, that's what I got from it.
Could very well be.
And I'm hoping. Actually, I would like to have some credibility and be like, "Oh, I'm right. I told you. But there's some things I would like to happen in between. But yeah, I said it all along. And hey, hello, you're on the air.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's our buddy Joe. What's up, Joe?
Oh, sorry. I'm just getting ready to go to work soon, so I'm glad that I turned on my laptop.
Oh, are you watching us right now? This is our buddy Joe. I work with him, and I'm glad to see you popped in, buddy.
Oh, yeah, so what's going on?
Oh, we're discussing SummerSlam, buddy.
I'm sorry?
We're discussing SummerSlam and Kevin Owens and all. We haven't got to Becky Lynch, which is his favorite wrestler.
Okay. I'm probably have to get going soon. Did she do good last night?
No, she's on tonight, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, if you want, just listen until you got to go, and yeah, and then give us a call later.
I thought that there was only 2 nights of it, Raw and SmackDown, and there's a Wednesday night as well?
No, tonight's Tuesday, buddy. Today's Tuesday.
Oh, okay, tonight's Tuesday. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, today's... Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, well, thank you for calling, buddy.
No problem, bye.
All right, later.
Bye.
Okay. He's a friend of the show, so.
This ain't fair. Not an official fact.
All right, so what were we saying, Rob, before that call? Oh yeah, but that was my prediction. All right, so now we're gonna go on. Yeah, we're done with SummerSlam. We were happy with certain things. Some things were like, "Huh." The Charlotte thing, actually, I will go with real quick. That was a shocker. I actually thought Lynch was gonna pull it off, but I guess you're gonna see a nice program with them too. But man, are they not accepting the fact that she's heel? It is.
See, I think they are.
You think that? All you hear is reports of her getting pops.
That's the heel now. The heel is love. The face is not. That's
Yeah, you're right.
world.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know what? That's exactly what would ever happen to Roman if he just fucking did it. They want Roman to be cheered. That's how you get the cheers. Well, and they pointed out last night. I even think on Raw. I'm not sure if it was Raw or maybe it's something I seen on Twitter last night. As a heel, Kevin Owens is in the top 5 for merch sales.
Yep. And he even said something in French last night.
You don't think after that heel turn, and I would love to see numbers. You do not think Becky Lynch's merch went up after that heel turn?
I guess
I
so.
would almost put any amount of money on that. I would.
Yeah, but didn't she bust out that new shirt the first night after SummerSlam?
Well, you know what? It works though. It just does.
Yeah, I'm just saying that orange shirt. I don't remember him wearing that recently, so I'm wondering if. Okay.
You get more respect as the heel, and if you have the respect, you'll sell the merch.
It is a weird time.
Just look at what happened with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins never moved that much merch. He never did.
Yep.
And he went heel for a while, gained momentum, came back face, and all of a sudden, merch is just flying off the shelf.
So you're saying that every wrestler in some way has to go heel and then come out of it?
Yes, because that's how you get that ultimate respect from the fans.
That is a good take.
20 years ago, during the heated Attitude Era, probably not.
Yeah.
It was probably the opposite. But
Yeah, I was still in the old school setting at that time.
when a heel went face back in the day, like Stone Cold did,
Yep.
that was the thing back then. Now it's the opposite. It's when the face goes heel, then the merch starts selling, the fans start cheering, and then they keep cheering when the person goes back to whatever they wore. So in Owen's case, he's going to get cheered as a face.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the old school mentality. And when he goes back heel, he's still going to get cheered. Same thing with Roman. If he goes heel for a while and then turns back face, the cheers will carry over.
I get what you're saying. It's like a development tool, is what you're saying. That because when you're a heel, you can do whatever. Face, you have limitations. We always discuss that.
And that's why we all love Kevin Owens as much as we do, is because he's a throwback to the old days.
Oh, the coward heel.
To how it used to be done.
Yeah.
And that's why he's beloved as much as he is, even if he stayed heel his whole career. He was never going to lose that because he reminded people of what it used to be.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that he's not going to get cheers at his face, because he's going to get a hell of the first time that fucking music goes off when he comes back, and if he does anything where he screws over a heel, that eruption is going to be absolutely beautiful to see.
Oh, he got a good response last night when he responded to the IC title challenge. But that, of course, because he's a Canadian, and they were in Toronto last night, so I know that had something to do with it too.
What a perfect place to do that angle, though. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Speaking of, trying to rub off the whole Trish Stratus stuff, I just want to throw that out there about that angle right quick, since we're on the subject of Canada real quick.
All right, go ahead.
God, that was so fucking cringe. Like, poor Elias, man. This man has to carry every little thing they put him in. If it's Finn Balor, he has to carry it. If it's Seth Rollins, was probably the exception to the rule, but it's Bobby Lashley, sure as hell he carried it. The Trish Stratus segment, sure as hell he carried. He carries every segment he's in, and that segment was still god awful. Probably the worst segment since the Bobby Lashley Elias feud, to be honest. That's all I really wanted to say.
And no, I agree, dude. That was bad, and I get what they're trying to do with that. It's a little bit of a development in a way, but it is a weird way to how they're developing today. Because you see the difference on development on SmackDown compared to Raw. Look at Andrade Cien Almas coming up from NXT to SmackDown. Look at the matches he has had, and he has gotten better because of that. Then you got the Raw way, where you do Elias doing these little skits. Again, I'm a big fan of Elias, but I just don't get this little build they do. I don't get the build of Mojo Rawley. I don't get the build with Elias. Most of the guys they're trying to build up. Apollo Crews with the Titus Worldwide. I just don't get the freaking Raw.
What's going on with that fucked up
I
shit?
don't know.
What is that trying to do with that?
Again, I'm not the negative. I try not to be the negative guy. Because at the end of the day, you enjoy the product regardless. And there's going to be things you don't get. There's going to be some things you can't relate to. Some things you're not going to enjoy. But at the end of the day, it's their product. And in no way should we have any... we shouldn't dictate their booking. I always felt that way. I felt that way in the early 2000s when the internet really became popular, because you started to see it even back in 2002-3, where they were allowing the internet to dictate their booking, and it's more evident now. But besides a couple exceptions, my point is with the fucking the tightest worldwide. All those games, just it's shitty development, I think, on the Raw side. That's the whole point. In a nutshell, I just don't get what Vince is trying to do. Is he still trying to rekindle shit from 20 years ago, thinking it would work?
I don't think so, but the only issue is enough's enough with the Elias segment stuff. Can we get back to where he just fucking wrestles? Maybe mix in a segment like that once a month with the scene and crap? Or hell, even have him do the scene and crap for a couple minutes and then have a fucking match. Like, this shit is boring. And we're doing the same fucking segment with him every fucking week. And this whole, what's this, a love triangle thing they're doing with Titus Worldwide? If it's broke, it's broke. If it's broke, you don't keep doing it until it works. It's broke.
What's up, Luke?
It's gonna magically start working out of fucking nowhere. Like, I loved the Elias segments for months and months. He was in our fucking top 5 consistently, week after week after week. But when you watch the same segments 4 times a month, for month after month after month, it's like, enough's enough. Like, have a match. Get in a respectable feud. Like, hell, give me Elias versus Bobby Roode even, or Elias Finn Balor extended feud, or anything. But like, if the feud's broke and the segments are broke, change it up.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with the because there is a lot of repetition on the Raw side, and again, I try not to be the negative guy, but you got to call some things out.
I'll be the fucking.
Well, that's where and I usually try to egg you on and get you started more. But this one, I actually agree with you with the whole repetition. Dude, it is annoying week in and week out. Like, I could probably watch it. There's a guy that does highlights of Raw every week, and they're like 20 minutes to a half hour.
Lately, I bet.
It's 20 minutes to a half hour, and he cuts a lot of that horseshit.
To the 20 minutes as of late, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been about 20 to 30 minutes. It's roughly about that, and it's highlights of matches. They cut certain parts of the match, and I watched it recently. Even after watching it, I wanted to refresh real quick because I was doing the rundown for the show, and it's like you're seeing the same shit. Yeah. Then the guy starts cutting that out because it's like.
Can I pause you just for a second though, because I want to respond to that comment in chat. The return we had earlier this year at the fucking Royal Rumble with Mickey and Trish was absolutely phenomenal and perfect and should have been left as it was. That bullshit they did last night was fucking garbage. Like, pure hot garbage. Like, Mickey didn't even get in Trish's face to taunt. There was nothing last night. The shit that they did at the Rumble was phenomenal. 10 out of 10. That shit last night wasn't even a fucking 1 out of 10. That was pure garbage. Alexa, hey, we got some back and feud. Someone you're real familiar with. Boom, drop the fucking phone, and then nothing.
Okay. My question for you then. If they would have done a match at Evolution, or even at the Super Show, if they were able to convince Trish to go over to Australia for Mickie James and Trish Stratus, another match. Huh?
Hands down. I would have been into that. Like,
you would have been okay with that kind of match.
100,000% okay.
I think more so they should have done it at Evolution, but they'll go with Bliss and her.
I think that'll be a good match too. But for Evolution, and especially now knowing that you were going to bring back Trish, probably this is the only Raw because it was in Canada, and I get that.
Yeah.
You could have built the angle and rehashed some of the shit from not 5 years ago like Triple H and Undertaker, but this shit was fun. Memories what went on between Mickey and Trish. you're talking 10, 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
They had a nice little fucking segment on Raw last night and built towards this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could have been a women's match that they talked about for years. You're not going to get that with Trish versus Alexa. I don't think you're going to get that. But even if it was just a 5-minute match between Trish and Nikki, that 5 minutes was going to be the best 5 minutes.
Because there's history. There's history. There was a story to be told.
It'd be like,
yep.
God forbid people were actually fucking healthy. Can you imagine, like, I'll throw a couple random dudes out there. Throw Stone Cold and Bret Hart in a match again.
Oh, man. Oh.
The memories. Like,
yep.
No. First I think everybody's like, oh, give me Rock and Stone Cold.
No.
Give me Stone Cold versus an old rival. Give me a healthy Bret Hart that never had a stroke. Oh, my fucking God.
No, I get your point. Yeah, Bret Hart and Stone Cold, like that rivalry in early '97, that was awesome. Leading up to that payoff match at WrestleMania.
I think the biggest problem you're going to have with the evolution is that it's going to be so many past women against current women.
It's the evolution. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To go over or who doesn't. You don't think first. By the sounds of it, it looks like the Bellas, for example, again, are going to be facing Iconics. You think for a second the Iconics have a chance in hell, despite however they've been booked on SmackDown. Let's say they were booked proper and they won matches.
Yeah.
There's no way on God's green earth any woman is going over any Bella on that fucking pay-per-view. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're going to have a little too much of that. Like, you're going to have Lita, let's say...
Yeah, but Lita wasn't she wasn't a diva. She was a woman's wrestler. I mean, look what she was doing to the guy.
You're going to have Lita against a current person. You're going to have the Bellas against a current...
But did Lita...
The Bellas are legends. They're not current.
Yeah, I know.
And I think that's all that card's going to be primarily, besides the title matches. The title matches will be current versus current, but the other matches, 4 or 5 other matches they do are going to be all current versus past.
Well, you know what? I can't disagree with that because it goes along with the whole evolution, past versus present, and it's just like when WCW and WWF first combined. And at the time, before you even knew who was going to come in, who wasn't going to come in, it was those possibilities of who if Stone Cold and Goldberg. It was all these dream matches you were starting to think of. Like, now, here's your chance that you could put these two together in the ring. Think about like Lita. Who would you pair Lita up with today? Currently.
I would honestly say a heel Nia Jax is what I would want to see the most.
Okay. Now, that's like a dream match. Now, here, think of this one, too.
If I'm going to go with the current person, if I'm going to go...
Oh, you got to go with current, yeah.
If I'm going a past person, I would almost even consider Lita, Nikki, Trish, Triple Threat.
No, again, if you're going to go with the theme, because it seems like the theme they're going to go with past and present.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't go with Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young because they're going to dig them off for this pay-per-view. I guess they can.
Against somebody like Ember Moon,
that would be good. No, actually, I think that might. But it wouldn't be so bad they get Zelina Vega in the mix because I've seen her work outside of the WWE. She is pretty good.
And you could tie in a little storyline with Lita's Latino wrestling.
Exactly. Background. So you could go with that when you were.
That could work.
Yeah, and I get with that. I actually get that. Like they could. They could do something good with that.
And low-key, if we're going to get the Iconics on the card, which all signs point towards them versus Bellas, I would honestly rather have Lay Cool against them than the Bellas. The Bellas could go against anybody. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go over no matter who the fuck they face. But to me, just from a it makes sense point of view, I think Lay Cool versus Iconics would make more sense.
Okay, yeah, this should have been a topic alone. Maybe we should we could.
We'll get a lot closer when it comes.
No, I mean for a pop-up show.
Put on the card.
Yeah, that should be a topic for a pop-up show just alone.
As we get more matches announced and other speculation gets put out there, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but one thing's for sure, I thought that my girl from the past was going to come, but I think she declined. It's been reported she declined. Stacy Keibler declined. I'm so sad. I won't get to see those fucking legs again. It is depressing, but I'll have to get over it. Real quick, though.
One person, well, no, I need to add to that real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
One person that was contacted, but did not say no right away was AJ Lee.
Yeah, I heard.
Throw it out there. She did not say no right away. She said she'd get back to him.
I love the GIF. Oh, go ahead.
Then, if she did say yes, I know it goes against the theme, but I would do Lita and AJ Lee. That would be for me.
Okay. But I saw a GIF.
I think it's doubtful, though.
Nah. It's Selena Vega and Ember Moon. I could see that more with Lita, but of course, I don't know if Lita even agreed yet.
Oh, I think it's all but certain.
And you know what? She does do the pre-games.
Yeah, I think the only way she doesn't return in the arena there is if she joins Beth Phoenix and Renee Young on commentary. Would be the only way.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll find out. Whether it's going to be commentary or she's going to be in the ring, we'll find out.
Oh, Natalya needs an opponent for that pay-per-view too. Come to think.
You know what? We'll save that for discussion. We got to get it because you could go so many angles with that. We'll talk about that because that seems a little interesting. I'm actually excited for it, but the only thing I disagree with it is that they try to play it off that they were the first ones to do it. Where you had TNA that kind of went with that, and you have all women's promotion that's already done that. So, I mean, I think it was more of damage control for what happened in Saudi Arabia. It was also because they took a step back for a period of time with the women's division. Now they went forward, and this is like the last part. They like make it, more. Make it more legitimate as far as competition. But yeah, as we get closer to that, I would like to do like a pop-up or even pretty soon where we could just come up with dream matches again and go more in depth with that. And how would be a good show for them?
Honestly, seems like
hey yo chico,
85% of the roster from the last 20 years is damn near eligible for this show. Like, wow.
Yeah, because I looked at the age of Trish Stratus, 42, and look at her at 42. It is amazing. A lot of that's work, but again,
that fucking yoga shit, man, that shit ain't no joke.
Well, obviously it isn't because she's still. I bet she could probably still move around. She could probably still do that. The moons. Well, not the moons. The Stratus. Oh my God, Hurricanrana. The stand up. Yeah, the stand up Hurricanrana.
She used to have moonsault too.
Yeah, I think so as well. But you know what? It is interesting, and you know what? We should save that for a discussion for the next time, because we could go so far with that, and I think that'd be a good show right there. Going into
your fantasy booking segments.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, I think this would be good for a pop-up show, more than just
pop-up where.
Oh, we book a fantasy. Okay. I'm sorry, I misinterpreted what you said.
Combine the fantasy booking from the regular show, combined with the pop-up show about the Evolution pay-per-view, how we would book it, what matches we want to see, who else we would want to see return, and just kind of design our own cards along with what we already know, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely want to do that.
Like an hour-long pop-up show where, like, the first half hour we discuss what we'd like to see, and then maybe we could get interactive with it and just kind of go a bunch of different directions.
And
I don't know. I like it. I think it could be a good show.
Yeah, we could start doing that.
For the perverts out there, we'll mix in a little bit of the
TNA.
puppies.
Yeah, the TNA shit. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to discuss that as we get closer. Now, I'm going to for the people in here. Don't forget, we're going to be tackling Raw, SmackDown completely, and we'll have a special segment for the guys. And then this Saturday, 11 p.m. on this channel, on Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch, Go Home Wrestling Show, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself, D-Shep, that's in the background right now, along with Electrifying and Magriff. And then don't forget, we have a call-in after show where you could call in, talk about anything that we're discussing at that time or anything we discussed on the show. So make sure you tune in Saturday night. We'll be back stronger and better than ever this Saturday at 11 p.m. So don't forget to tune in for that. So we're moving on to the next subject, and we kind of, discussed it already, but we'll go in a little bit more detail, and that is the Kevin Owens quitting live on Raw last night. And as we know, yeah, D-Shep, if you want to give your opinion, because we discussed this off air real quick, and you hinted about it as we were talking about it during the show. You have a theory of where they're going to go with it. So go ahead.
Well, my theory is that it's not going to be a full repackage, but he's going to come back as a face. I don't know how long you do this where he stays away for. There's been rumors going around they want him to get a little trimmed up with the weight.
Yeah.
So that would lean towards an extended break and return around Survivor Series probably. But I could see a short-term return or a long-term return. But I think it's going to build him up for a major push going into Rumble Mania season.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have, by WrestleMania, at the latest, we will have Kevin Owens with the Universal title.
All right, so you think at WrestleMania he'll win it?
At WrestleMania, I said bye. I could see Owens winning the Universal title as soon as Survivor Series.
Oh, okay.
At the latest by WrestleMania. I don't have a lockdown prediction as to when that's going to happen because a lot of that depends on when the return is.
Rumble.
If the return's not till Survivor Series, it could take a while. I don't know.
And you know what? Well, I see, like he'll probably come around roughly around Survivor Series, going into the Royal Rumble, probably challenging for the title, probably winning. So that would give Roman Reigns a good 5-month reign. And a lot of people are like, oh, really? Only 5 months? But yeah, okay. Well, at least you had it on fucking Raw every week. Probably by then, people would be bitching about the title change at that point. Because knowing the WWE Universe with their fucking logic, they're probably going to bitch about that. But then he'll drop it to Owens. But then Owens probably going into a match with Strowman at WrestleMania. So his reign will probably be short. But, I mean, the long-term goal, you return.
The more I think about it, I think he's going to win it at the Rumble.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, probably the program will start around Survivor Series.
I think he's going to be out short-term. This would be my full prediction. Is that he's going to return at Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
Cost Braun the match. They're going to feud for a little while over the #1 contendership. And meanwhile, Reigns will be defended against who the fuck ever.
Yep.
And then at Rumble, Kevin Owens gets his shot. And then Kevin Owens faces the winner of the Rumble, which likely could possibly even be Braun again. Okay,
and you know what? It's funny. Adam Jones just said in chat, it would seem longer depending on how many title defenses Roman has. Now, let's get this count, because I want to have a count for the show. How many title defenses has Roman had since winning the Universal Championship? You ready? 7. How many has Brock Lesnar had in 500 plus days that they want to fucking amplify? Let's bring it out there. Let's put it out there. 11. And now, Get him, Jones, you are right. 2 as far as TV is concerned. But he's been defending the title in every house show he's been in. So he's been pretty much like the Hulk Hogan of title defenses. He is making it seen again. He wants that title to be seen. And again, as a fan of wrestling, I'm stepping back and see what the WWE is going to do with this. I'm not going to bitch that the guy has the title. You have the title back on Raw. Be happy with that. But for some people in the WWE universe, that is not good enough. And you're never going to please them. You do what they want, they'll find a way to bitch about that. That's just the way society is today. There's no satisfaction. Okay? You give them what they want something else. You know what it kind of reminds me of? My wife. All right, so moving along. The freaking going back to Kevin Owens, when that really happened, so you didn't seem fooled at all that it could have been real for a second.
No. Not for a second.
Okay. Well, I didn't know about that re-signing, so I'm a little behind on that shit for the 5-year extension. But for a brief moment, I thought about, what if it was legit that he actually quit live on air? And it has happened with some wrestlers that have done it after signing an extension, too. Just saying, Punk. If he were to really do it, where would you think he would go? Would he go to Japan? Would he go back to Ring of Honor? Would he even try to go to Impact with the possibility of Jericho going to Impact? I mean,
I think the most likely scenario would be Impact.
I think so as well. I thought that would have been a great move. And I started, for that brief moment, I started thinking in my head, oh, what are the possibilities? Where could he go? And it would have been awesome to see that. But obviously, yeah, it is a storyline where you're saying that it's going to get repackaged and he's going to get a new look, just like you said with Dean Ambrose. And then as far as getting him fit, like they did with the Big Show back in the early 2000s. I wish him luck. And yeah, he will be missed because to me, he is one of the classic heels. And you know when he comes back, he's going to get a pop, so he's going to be a face. He's not going to be a heel. And it's kind of sucks because I enjoy his work as a heel. And I'm looking forward. And just like you said, D-Shep, it's a stepping stone. It's a development tool. Like NXT develops you to go to the main roster. Then you're either a face or a heel, and then you go as a heel, and then you do your time as a heel, and then eventually you become a face, and then you become the top guy. I get what you're saying, and I totally agree with that. It's a learning tool to develop your character, so when you become face, you have an identity. So I get what you're saying when you said that earlier. It makes a lot of sense. So going back to the last topic, heel turns. Braun Strowman. Do you agree with that fucking turn last night? And were you even surprised? I was swerved. I was completely swerved.
I was swerved too. But I also heard a rumor about 4 or 5 days ago with the Eric Rowan injury on SmackDown.
The Wyatt family.
They are considering moving Harper to Raw and reuniting the Wyatt family, which I honestly think
would be awesome.
Is a lot higher chance, even more now that Braun turned heel. Though I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Bray ain't got nothing to do. Harper ain't got nothing to do, and you just turned Braun heel. I mean, it seems like, and then you have Braun feuding with the Shield. Like, are we really heading towards Shield versus Wyatt Family 2.0? I'd have to say the signs they're going that way.
Yeah, because we discussed this about a couple weeks ago with the whole 3-man factions. You got the Wyatt family, obviously, that will probably develop. You got the Shield, 3 guys. New Day, 3 guys. Sanity, 3 guys. You had this gang warfare type thing back in '97 that was huge, where you had the Nation of Domination, you had DX, the Los Beliquas, what was that biker gang? Fuck, I can't think. Disciples of Apocalypse. And you had all these factions. And it seems like they're kind of going with that in a little bit. But again, it's a triple threat. And that was an NWA thing, too. The only one that wasn't a 3-man faction during that time with the NWA was the 4 Horsemen, obviously. So again, you're seeing a little bit of that NWA influence in the fucking WWE product. The Brood, they're a good example. That was right about that time with Gangrel.
Right to censor.
Oh, right to censor. Dude, I loved that. I don't care what people say. I was a big fan of that. And when they got the Godfather to become the Good Father, I was like, I'm sold. This is great. I love it.
Yeah, that was fun.
But Get Him Jones says I was swerved, but I was waiting to see if they boo him. They kind of did boo him, which I was shocked. I guess they were like, what the fuck? So, again, would it, given by our logic of what we think is going to happen, when Kevin Owens comes back, he's going to be a face. Probably. More than likely. Then going up against the Braun Strowman that just turned heel. So, yeah, I mean, what we're going with, what we feel.
He'll also have to fight through the Wyatt family before he gets to Braun.
I guess we'll find out. And you know, it'd be good for Bray, too, because Bray's just like, where's he been since the leaders of the world was, pretty much.
He got deleted.
Yeah, pretty much. He got deleted. Delete!
Hardy finally deleted Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, and he's an agent now, which, wow.
I'm sure Bray's backstage, though. You got JoJo out there every week, so you know Bray's lurking back there.
I'm pretty sure as well. He's probably even doing.
Keep an eye on JoJo, man, because I don't know when she got as thick as she did, but
can never refrain, can you, pal?
Can you imagine, dude? If you got JoJo to ever wrestle someday, have an ass match with JoJo and Naomi. Which ass comes out on top?
We'll find out. It's funny that all the Wyatts got over except for Bray. It is funny that happened. And I discussed this. We talked about this, and I said that this ship a long time ago. Out of everyone at the Wyatts, Luke Harper I see being the biggest star, though. I don't know why.
But Bray was really over. He hasn't been over in years, but
he had his moment.
Time, especially during the Daniel Bryan feud back in the day, Bray Wyatt was hella over. Like, you had everybody doing the phone light in the crowd. You got the whole world in his hands.
Yeah.
People ate that up. So
it was unique.
He was never over, but he hasn't been over in a very long time.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the radar for actually a year, really. Because when he got that title, man, that was a great.
The colossal failure of a match with Randy Orton with the worms on the ring is where it all went downhill for Bray.
What, WrestleMania?
Where they put the graphic of the worms in the ring when he was feuding with Orton.
Oh, yeah.
That's when it just all, stopped.
Well, that was during, the WrestleMania run. Because he won at the Elimination Chamber, which I was shocked even then.
Hella relevant. And honestly, since the Daniel Bryan feud, if you want to go that far.
Yeah, well, it's a sin, though, because the guy was a WWE champion for about a little over a month. And that was just a further fucking storyline with Randy Orton giving him the title. But then he was to get injured, so he had to drop the title quick to... and it was perfect timing because they wanted to do an India... Like I said, that happened for two reasons. The India, because they were expanding to India and all that. And two, Randy Orton was hurt. So they had to do something, and that's where they went with Jinder Mahal. But yeah, before that, Bray Wyatt, he was the champion. Then he let AJ pin Cena, and now look where he is at. Yeah. Exactly. They knocked out the champion early on, too, so no matter what, you were seeing a new champion, which is something you don't see a lot when you got elimination matches with titles on the line. You wouldn't see the champion to go early on, so no matter what, you're going to have a new champion. But, yeah, going back, because we went off on another tangent, but because it all derived from the Wyatt family. Yeah, I guess we'll see what they do with him in the upcoming weeks. And I guess the heel turn is to bring back, because you had the Bludgeon Brothers that were heels, so you're going to have Luke Harper heel. I guess they're going to go Bray back to being the heel. We'll see if they accept that.
You know, if they give the Wyatt family an extended run, and it would have to be an extended run for this to get pulled off the way I would hope. This is fantasy booking from a hoping point of view. Is let the Wyatt family play out, be all strong and mighty. The three of them are just running ramshot, and then start to sprinkle in some turmoil right before Eric Rowan's about to come back. Have Eric Rowan come back, and they blame everything on Harper, and then we finally get Harper as the start of a face, big push.
Yeah, because, dude, despite his size and all, he's a very athletic guy. Like we were discussing off air with Kevin Owens, the guy of his stature, that moonsault he did is like, wow, you really see how athletic he could be. And like you said, if he's taking that time off, let's see how he's going to be when he's all fit and he has a better build. But yeah, Rowan.
And that's what I'm thinking with Harper. Man.
Harper is that big guy, yeah, that can move.
Have Roland take him out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he returns, blame him for the Wyatt family struggles. Keep him off TV. So basically, a year from right now, roughly, maybe by not this year's Rumble, but the following Rumble.
Okay.
Have him come out, repackage as a face, and eliminate Rowan. So not Royal Rumble 2020, but I'm thinking long-term booking 2021, and have him eliminate Rowan.
I think.
Now a face, come out with a new look. Like, I think it would work.
Well, I think eventually, if they're going to do the Wyatts, they'll probably eventually push him over to SmackDown. I think that would be their best thing, because if you're going to give Luke Harper a push, I think it'd be better for him on SmackDown. But yet, Raw is more of the land of the giants, and he is a big guy. He's not a small guy whatsoever. So maybe Universal title, but I see a world title picture, and I said that months ago with you, and you remember that discussion we had. And I said Harper's the one guy I could see being the future world champion, and it's not like 5 years down the road. I could see that within a couple. He has that in him. He really does have that in him.
But I don't think it's coming until he's repackaged as a face, though, and I don't know.
Yeah, but what do you think of the repackage with the Bludgeon Brothers? I mean, I didn't mind that tag team. I thought it was pretty good.
It was cute at best. I really wasn't that.
What do you think it was? That little 90s version? I mean, like new generation, not the Attitude Era.
I liked it for a while, but it was growing stale quick, in my opinion. I think the injury to Rowan was a blessing. To maybe, like, it's the second time now that Harper's gotten fucked over by a Rowan injury. So at some point, you got to push Harper and just Rowan's whatever. I mean.
Well, yeah, we'll see what they go with that. But obviously, we got to wait to see what they do with the whole Wyatt family. Obviously, you got Bray off TV right now.
Yeah, but now you're not sure if the Wyatt family is going to even happen, because now you got him, Braun with Ziggler and McIntyre. So are we going to get the Shield for Ziggler, McIntyre, Strowman instead of the Wyatt family? Maybe they changed their mind on the Wyatt family altogether.
No, because I think that was to legitimize the heel turn. I think that's what it did. I don't think that was a team up with them two. I think they raised the hands and be like, oh shit, he just turned heel. I think that's what it was more of.
We're at least gonna probably get a 6-man tag in the next week or two between those 6.
Yeah, I think that's a program they're gonna work, and then of course they're gonna keep Strowman back on. They're gonna keep him on TV regardless. But you'll bring Harper over. You're gonna bring Bray, and they'll probably do something to bring them back. Get Him Jones said something awesome in chat. The Wyatts could go to Raw to make room for Undisputed Era. Now, here's the thing. There was a reason why Undisputed, you had Adam Cole drop the title. Yep. And the thing, here's the thing, though, because I talked about someone, there's a guy at work I talk wrestling with almost on a daily basis. And I said, I was like, isn't it time, though, that the reason they introduced that title is so people that they don't have to win necessarily the NXT title, because usually when you win that and you lose it, what does that mean when you lose it? You're going to get promoted. And you got Andrade Cien Almas. We don't know what's going to happen with Aleister Black, because he got injured, of course, after dropping the title.
I don't think that injury's real either. But
no, he's really injured. No, he's really injured.
I don't think.
Oh.
I don't buy it.
Well, they have to report that. They're a publicly traded company. They can't lie about that.
Okay. Yeah, go see John Cena when he gets a 9-month injury, come back in 2.5 months.
Oh, no. So when they're doing a storyline, they don't announce it. Well, yeah, they won't announce it then.
I honestly don't believe he's really hurt.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll...
Because, next thing you know, you're going to hear about Aleister Black doing the next WWE film, and he can do all that injured, but he can't. Yeah, okay. I don't know. There's just...
Oh, it's the same thing they did with Hulk Hogan when he got squashed by Earthquake.
You look back to Alistair's matches and tell me where he got hurt. I don't see it. So that's my only gripe. If I don't see at least some sign of the injury happening, I question it.
Okay, I mean, you're entitled to question that. They have announced it. The ones that they don't, yeah, obviously it's a work because, pardon me, it's a work because they're doing something with them. For the most part, when they really are injured, they have to put it out there because they're a publicly traded company. They have to.
They put out before though people are injured, and then you later find out that they film a movie with all these insane stunts.
Oh yeah, well they probably have stunt doubles, dude. It's not like they're really getting.
No. They put it out there before, like Miz, especially Miz during the Marine movies, that he was like, for example, doing all his own stunts. They have put that out before like that. So what I'm saying is, if they're going to put something out one way, and you're supposedly supposed to believe it, then when they put out something else, then you've got to be consistent and believe that too. What I'm saying is, what they put out there isn't always like meshing how it should. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Sometimes they put out the mixed signals, and then that's to create talk though. That for stuff like this, us right now, we're talking about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, if what they put out is that true, it's creating interest in the product. Because if they put that thought into your head, is this real? Isn't it real? That's how they get motherfuckers hooked. That's smart business.
Oh, it is.
Just because they're a publicly traded company, it doesn't mean that they can't tell a little fib, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, again, Get Him Jones, they put it so if he wasn't injured, then they didn't put him in a three-way at Brooklyn, people would be pissed.
Which is why you have to say he's legitimately hurt for now.
Well, you know what? I get it, but you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of glad it wasn't a triple threat. If you're going to continue a Gargano-Ciampa, which was probably the greatest rivalry, and I can't wait to see what they do when they get up on the main roster if they end up in the same brand. I mean,
you would have to think they end up.
Oh, I hope so. Dude, it is the greatest rivalry I've seen in years. And they're not even on the main roster. Look at that great storytelling, and they're not even on the fucking main roster. They're on NXT. And again, I'm not knocking it. It is a great product, one of my favorite products out of the three. It goes that, SmackDown, then Raw. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I got to add something in between there. 205 Live. No comment, buddy?
I don't get what that has to...
What's wrong with Hold on. What's wrong with 205 Live? I know.
Like, that was the most awkward transition I've ever heard. Like,
I just tried to egg you on there. I was just trying to bait you.
Pathetic.
I was trying to bait you.
You know what? That's as pathetic and desperate as 205. That's basically 205 in a nutshell right there.
Hey, that's a good product.
Weak, uncoordinated attempts to be relevant.
Yeah, whatever. I was just trying to bait you, get you started up. But yeah, the great rivalry in the title just now got involved. Yeah, I think it was a great way to end. If there was going to be another match between them two, last man standing for the title, and the way that ended at NXT TakeOver, it was perfect. Perfect.
But at some point, not saying I fully 100% agree with you, but at some point, they're going to need to do something else with it or stop doing it, because I don't want it to lose its magic.
I think there's going to be a brief period of nothing between the two. I think the injury of the quote-unquote injury that Gargano sustained because of the ramming his knee into the equipment is probably going to delay that rivalry for a little bit. I'd like to see where they go from there, but obviously you're going to have another challenger for the title. But you know what? It's funny how we went off on that. And the main thing was I wanted to talk about. It's funny how we go off on these tangents. And you know what? That's good because we're.
And you start trying to talk about 205 Live.
Oh, that was just a bait. You. That was just a joke. The main point was we were talking about how Adam Cole, going along with what he Get 'em Jones said, allowing undisputed era. The whole point was, before we went off on this tangent, was you don't have to be NXT champion to move on. Maybe him dropping the title and probably the tag, Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly dropping the tag titles. That could be their move to go to the main roster. They don't necessarily have to win the title to move on, especially when you're a tag team. And then Bobby Fish will go along with him when he returns. Oh, great one's in the house. What's up, buddy? Gargano has to win, or it gets stale.
Gargano win the strap eventually, have Ciampa go up first, and then when Gargano loses it, he goes up too.
All right, takeover in LA in November. That's when you do it.
But you know what? I want to do long-term booking again, because I'm telling you right now, I don't know when. I don't know if it's a year from now, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
Okay.
Someday, on the main roster, I don't even know what show, but we are going to get a DIY reunion. I guarantee it.
We'll find out.
It always happens. It always happens. Look how much you've had heated rivalries through the years and tag teams reunited. You even had Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty reunite at some point.
07.
Like it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna be on that next level kind of ovation, like a Daniel Bryan kind of pop. It's gonna be that next level. I don't know when, but someday it will happen. I do think that, 100%.
All right. Well. In a nutshell, let's because we're gonna have to cut this off because I'm watching my kid on Skype right now. I have my kid on Skype on the screen here, and she's starting to move around. She's moving around more and more. She's just a moment away from waking up.
She's making him run for it.
She's about to wake up, and we're going on for almost 2 hours, man. We're on pretty long term here. I wasn't expecting to go this long. So in a nutshell, do you have anything to end? Do you have any final thoughts? Let's go, Jerry Springer, on this shit. You have any final thoughts on everything we discussed today?
I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. So, honestly, good.
Okay. I'll give you my final thoughts real quick. I do like the Wyatt family Foreman. Bold prediction, real quick. Kevin Owens, since he quit, is going to take time off. We established that he will probably come around back November, or even probably closer to January. Challenge Roman Reigns for the title, win the title, and then have Strowman win the Rumble. They already went with that with the Greatest Royal Rumble. Now he'll win the original, the regular Royal Rumble.
God.
What?
Sidetrack. Sorry.
Oh, you're playing Madden. And then he'll face him for the title, and I said that all along. Strowman winning the title anytime before WrestleMania would be a disservice for him. He's got a lot of time to develop, and he would be perfect right about that time.
You know what, though?
What's that?
If you are going to do I do have a final thought. If you are going to do the disservice, I think if it's a less of a disservice now that he's healed, though. Less. Still a disservice.
But it goes along with what you're saying, too, that this time that he's going to be heel again, because he kind of was in the past, but if he's going to be heel again, you got to allow him to develop more. And we said that when you're heel, there's no limits. You could do whatever you want. So you really bring your character out when you're a heel. And then when he comes as a face eventually, he will be more established and he'll be repackaged in some kind of way. So that's my bold prediction. Kevin Owens, I was actually hoping that was real. And Braun Strowman, man, was I swerved last night. And kudos to that fucking writing crew, because you know what? Despite I actually like the show for the most part, but we'll get into that Saturday night with the Go Home Wrestling show.
How awkward
What's that?
was that turn? Like the way they did it with he tagged in and just stood there, and you were like, "The fuck." Like
that was the pause. It was
like,
the anticipation.
Jump down and not even do the tag. You know what I'm saying? But that's like one of the first times they did that in that way, where the guy got tagged, didn't come in and beat up a guy right away. Just stood there, just mean mugging everybody. It was fantastic, man. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was yeah, that's the way. It was the anticipation. That's what made that a pretty good thing. It's like, where were they going to go with it? And you found out pretty damn quick. Well, not quick, but you got what I meant. All right, so yeah, it was a complete swerve for that heel turn, and we'll see what they go with that. Wired family? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And that's going to include this show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we'll probably do another pop-up show this week, and I would definitely... whether with or without this ship, I'm going to do a show about the all-in event this Saturday. I'll give my predictions of who's going to win, who's not going to win. And then Saturday night, Go Home Wrestling Show, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you join myself, D-Shep, that's with me right now, Electra Fine, and Mad Griff as we discuss Raw, SmackDown, and we'll have something special for you guys as we do for every show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And do you have anything else before we get off the air, buddy?
No, I'm good.
Oh, and Get 'em Jones says to watch episode 84 of 205 Live. Just saying. All right, everyone. I'm out of here. So is D-Shep. Are you going to stream at all today, or?
No, I'm not going to stream for.
Actually, hold on. Let's see who we can raid here. Let's be nice. Let's who's live right now? Sorry.
Try to be a smart ass with me. I will wreck your booty holes.
How do we do the raid? I never done a raid on here. Let's go to MMPR. I'll put it in chat. And
well, I know you can just simple host and just do /host. And
yeah, we'll just do that. Go to MMPR. Yeah, if we don't see you anytime this week with the pop-up shows, we'll see you Saturday night. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. See you next time on the Go Home Wrestling Show.